And we've had a beautiful week of weather. It's been in the 50s, and I've been thinking a lot about golf. And so I thought today I'd use my TPI certification to show you guys a golf fitness assessment that you can do at home. The golf fitness assessment is going to help you know whether you're golf ready. In the TPI fitness assessment and in the golf fitness course that I took, one of the biggest emphasis that they made was that the glutes are extremely important for power. But let's face it, as humans, we sit a lot, and the more we sit, the weaker our glutes get. So right now I'm going to do a test to check Sherry's glute strength. The glute is your rear end. So the core is king, the glutes are queen. You got to have strong glutes for golf. So this is a test, but it's also a corrective exercise. And when I say corrective exercise, I just mean if you find a problem during your assessment, and you can also hire a nice TPI golf fitness instructor to help you with this, but if you find a problem, you want to address that weakness. One of the problems with most of us, and myself included, is I work on my strengths. I like to lift weights, so I lift weights. Cardio is not quite my thing. Sherry loves cardio, so she does a lot of cardio and not as much strength. We should be addressing our weaknesses, not our strengths. Okay, so what you're going to do is Sherry's going to bring her feet all the way together. And she's going to bring her arms over her chest like this. She's going to hike up into a bridge. So this is working her glutes right now. And then she's going to straighten this leg. Okay, so this is putting all the stress onto the left side of her leg, her glute and her hamstring. If her glutes were not functioning, she would be going into a spasm right now. Are you getting any spasm here at all? Yeah, her hips are steady. There's no shaking. This is a 10-second test. She's been up here that long. Okay, go down and rest. And rest just for a second. If you do this test and your hamstring immediately grabs and you're shaking, then your glutes are weak. And Sherry will tell you, you'll feel that in your hamstring. But you have to have your glutes. They have to be working. Okay, let's do the other side. Good. You're going to hike up. Hike up first, Sherry. Go back down just for a sec. There you go. Hike up. Good. Straighten the other leg. So you can see her hips are really level. It's working her hamstring here, which you can feel it, and her glute. But her glutes are pretty strong. So as a TPI golf fitness instructor, I know that your glutes are okay, and that's not the reason that you're not squatting deep. Okay? So your glutes are really okay. She's been up here 10 seconds. Go ahead and rest. So let's say you do this test and you fail it. There's two corrective exercises. One is a bilateral bridge. So separate your feet a little bit and place your palms onto the ground, and all she's going to do is hike the butt up in the air and back down. Okay? You might not want to do this at Gold's Gym in front of the guys, but if your glutes aren't working, this is where you need to start. It's an extremely important exercise, and I don't care whether you're 6'4" and weigh 250 or 5'2" and weigh 120. If your glutes aren't working, you're not going to hit the golf ball well. Good. Go ahead and rest. Now we're going to do a single leg version. So you're going to bring one knee into your chest. That's it. The knee is into the chest, and that shuts off from using her back. So sometimes in this, people will try to extend through the back. If you have back pain when you golf, you might be considering that you're trying to use the back, your lumbar spine, rather than your glutes. So now with just the one leg, she's going to press up and down, up and down. And I really feel this when I do this exercise. I love this exercise. I call it a commercial exercise because you can be in the commercials in the middle of your TV shows and still get some exercise done. Yeah, Sherry's got perfect form. The knee is staying in. She's not extending through her back. Okay, go ahead and rest. And then switch. Other knee. Good. Great. So, we know that Sherry's hips are a little tight, so I'd recommend some stretching, and especially the windshield wipers. But we know her glutes are strong. So I would still recommend you do this exercise, but it's not the reason she didn't pass the overhead squat. I'm going to ask Sherry to demonstrate an inline lunge. And when I say inline lunge, what I mean is that you're going to lunge forward, and one foot is going to be directly in front of the other. By the way, if you're at home and you haven't lunged or squatted in a long time, I think you need to be a little careful of this one maneuver, okay? So, with a nice tall body, this leg is going to cross over and step directly in front of the other. All right? So you notice how I'm on a balance beam. If your hips are weak, this is what you're going to see. As you step, the knee will cave in. That knee caving in is what causes most people's knee injuries in sports, because your hips are weak. So come on over, Cher. Good. And normally I would set a nice line on the floor for Sherry, but for today's show, you just step right in front, and the knee should not wiggle. Come on back and do it one more time. Make it a little bigger. The problem with that lunge is it just wasn't big enough. Good. And push. And try it again, Cher. Good. And now switch legs. Other leg. Nice and big. Good. So you can see on Sherry's right knee, it went in a little bit, but I think that's just a matter of practicing this more than anything else. All right, go ahead and rest for a second. So if when you lunge, your knee caves in, that's telling me your hips are weak. So now, I'm going to go over here and get this band. And Sherry, you can sit to put it on. This is going to go on your ankles. All right, we'll take this out of the way. So, your hip muscles help control motion not only at the hip, but at the knee joint as well. So Sherry's going to get that band on her ankles, and if you've watched this show before, you've seen this exercise 100 times. I guess it's important. All right, so keeping her feet straight ahead, Sherry's going to step 2 steps that direction. Good. And you can keep going a little bit more. Good, and then come back. Good. So what we're shooting for here is that the body is not trying to rock back and forth. Good. Good, and then come on back. Where do you feel that, Cher? Yeah, sides of your thighs. If you do the inline lunge and you fail the inline lunge, that is a super exercise for you. Okay, so if the knee caves in. And parents, if you're watching this show because you're a golfer and you've got a high school athlete, particularly a girl, and you try that inline lunge and her knee caves in, you better get her doing that exercise. Because if you're an athlete and you can't lunge like that, you're at huge risk for knee injury. Okay.